Let's kick things off with a pretty powerful idea. It's one of those things that can just change everything. Wealth. It isn't about the numbers in your bank account, not at first. It's about the framework, the mindset you build in your head long before the cash ever shows up. So, what we're going to break down here is a really powerful framework for success. The goal is to give you a kind of clarity, a real direction for the next 10 years of your life, all in the next 10 minutes. And here's the roadmap for how we'll do it. First, we're going to start with the internal game. That's your mindset. Then we'll talk about the engine that actually drives it forward. After that, the catalyst that sparks the big moves, the people you need around you, and finally, the real purpose behind it all. Okay, first up, the mindset of wealth. Because where you end up in life, it doesn't really start with your background or your degree or who your parents are. It starts right here, between your ears, with how you think. This slide really boils down a huge, complex idea into a super simple choice. On one side, you have the wealthy, who see money as a tool. It's something you use to generate more money. It's an investment. But on the other side, a lot of people just see money as a way to acquire things, which at the end of the day usually just ends up making someone else rich. So just take a second and really think about it. When you spend your money, are you planting seeds for the future, or are you just consuming the harvest right now? Being honest with yourself here, that's the first real step. And this right here, this is why that mindset is so incredibly powerful. Your belief system isn't just some passive thought floating around in your head. No, it's an active command. It dictates what you do, the actions you take, and because of that, the results you ultimately get. It's so easy to blame external things, right? But the biggest barrier, it's usually internal. It's us. We let the opinions of people who are never going to buy from us, never going to support us anyway, we let them control our decisions. That person sitting on their couch with an opinion, they're not paying your bills. All right, so once you get your mindset right, you need an engine to make it all happen. And that engine is consistency. It's just the relentless, disciplined act of doing the work. This is the raw formula. Look, it's not glamorous, it's not sexy, but it is real. It's about outworking the next person, obsessing over every little detail, and just having the sheer discipline to do it over and over and over again until people simply cannot doubt your ability to succeed. I'm sure you've heard this a million times, right? Work smart, not hard. But honestly, that's kind of a false choice. The truth is, you absolutely need both. They go hand in hand. Your hard work is the brute force that creates the opportunity for your smart work to actually have a massive impact. Okay, so you've got the mindset, you've got the engine. What's next? Well, you need a spark. And that spark is the courage to take a calculated risk, to start strengthening what you could call your risk muscle. Check out this story. It's a perfect example. There's a photographer who wants to get into this really expensive event, but there's no way they can afford the ticket. Instead of giving up, they spot an opportunity. The main speaker? Their bio is kind of weak, so they make an offer. They offer to rewrite the bio in exchange for a ticket. They literally created an opportunity out of thin air. And once they got into that room, this is the advice they heard. What a powerful idea. It's all about having faith in your own ability to just figure things out as you go. You don't always need to see the net before you leap. You just need the courage to jump. All right, so far, a lot of this has been about the individual, about you. But let's be real. No one achieves anything truly significant all by themselves. So let's shift gears and talk about how you build a team that can win. So how do you build those deep one-on-one relationships that are the absolute foundation of any great team? It starts with something that sounds a little scary, vulnerability. When you're open, when you're authentic, almost everyone, like 95% of people, will meet you there. And that's where real connection, real trust is actually born. Now, to scale that kind of connection across a whole team, you really need three things. First, a noble cause. Think of it like your North Star, the thing everyone is working towards. Second, an enemy, a shared competitor or a problem you're all trying to solve to focus your energy. And third, a playbook, a clear plan for your vision, your values, and how you're going to execute, so everybody stays on the same page. And that brings us to our final and maybe most important section. We've got the mindset, the work ethic, the courage, and the team. But what is it all for? Let's totally redefine the end goal. To really get this next idea, you have to understand the context. This comes from someone who literally went from getting food from the government to building a 7-figure business, completely breaking a cycle of poverty. And that journey leads to this incredible way of reframing success. See, your success isn't the final destination. It's a passport. It's a document that gives you the freedom, the resources, and the influence to not only get yourself out, but more importantly, to help other people get out too. And this is the question that fuels you on those really dark, really hard days. It totally reframes the struggle. Suddenly, it's not just about you anymore. It's about the responsibility that comes with holding that passport. So we'll end with this question for you. Whether your passport is big or small right now, you have one. You've got skills, knowledge, experiences that can help somebody else. So the only question left is, who are you going to help?